Welcome to the Hidden Orchard podcast, a radical exploration of spirituality, science, and the Bible from a Jewish perspective. Each week we'll look at a new topic and dive deep into the texts that inspire and enrich our lives. So whether you're a seasoned expert or just curious about a topic, there's something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and we'll get to today's episode in a bit. But first, if you haven't done so, visit thehiddenorchard.com and subscribe. It's free, and you'll receive access to content and weekly emails. There you can also subscribe for a paid membership and get access to everything on the site and be the first to hear about online study opportunities where you can meet and interact with other people on the journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have an idea for a topic, reach out to me at thehiddenorchard.com. Now, let's get to today's episode. Purim is one of the Jewish calendar's most vibrant and festive holidays. It's a time of joy, reflection, and fun with the community. Embedded with historical significance and tradition, Purim commemorates a pivotal event in Jewish history, as recounted in the biblical Book of Esther. At first glance, this book appears to be a simple story of tragedy turned to triumph. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. Inspired by centuries of traditions and insights, the customs of costume wearing, eating creative flavors of pastries known as hamantashen, and giving charity make Purim a celebration of spiritual depth and festivity. The story unfolds in ancient Persia, where King Ahasuerus' advisor, Haman, schemes to annihilate the Jewish population amid the Persian Empire. At the narrative's core lies Queen Esther, a Jewish woman who kept her identity concealed for much of the book. At a critical point in the drama, Esther bravely reveals her identity, using her influence and position to save her people from imminent death. It's notable, and we've covered this on the Hidden Orchard, that the word Esther is also the word for concealment. And as we've learned, the story of Purim contains a lot of concealment and revelation. As it turns out, Haman descends from a long line of haters of the Jewish people. We find that this adds a deeply rooted historical tension and spiritual overtones that can be traced throughout the first books of the Torah. In essence, this event is another manifestation of an ever-present spiritual war against God's people that rages through every generation. Purim, like all Jewish holidays, contains multiple layers of meaning, organized within the interpretation levels of Jewish hermeneutics, known as pardes. Apart from the historical level of interpretation, that which we call pashat, the plain, therein lie homiletic and instructive insights, and even hints about the messianic redemption to come. Reading solely within the literal sense ensures a reader will miss some of the inner depth of this story. Esther, through her courage and wise counsel of Mordecai, intervenes and ultimately thwarts Haman's plan of genocide, ensuring the survival of the Jewish community in the diaspora. In the story, it was Haman who was placed on the gallows that he built for Mordecai. It was the anti-Semites and haters of Jews who found themselves fighting for their survival. Of the many spiritual principles, this reversal affirms the old saying, when you dig a grave for someone else, you're sure to fall in it. In addition, we get a glimpse of the deeper principle that messianic figures often require a degree of concealment of their identity to accomplish their mission. When things seem to be most dire, they emerge from the shadows and carry out their mission. Each year, this timeless victory is celebrated with jubilation and gratitude, marking another triumph of good over evil, and again foreshadowing the ultimate redemption of which the world awaits. Observances and customs. Around the world, Purim is celebrated on the 14th of the month of Adar, and the 15th in Jerusalem. For religious and traditional Jews, Purim comes with a few mitzvot, those are commandments, and some fun customs that communities observe every year. At a high level, they are, number 1, the fast of Esther. On the 13th of the month of Adar, a fast is observed from dawn to nightfall. The fast commemorates the 3-day fast of Esther, as she sought to overturn the decree against her people. 2 is hearing, the Megillah. Now, the Megillah is, you could call it a word for scroll. It's basically the Book of Esther, and we read this in the synagogue and in communities, recounting the events of Purim. The mitzvah is that we are to listen and hear the story, punctuating the reading with cheers at the mention of Esther and boos at the mention of Haman, symbolizing the rejection of evil. Often called groggers, noisemakers are common, and though it can get quite rowdy, it's a worthwhile experience to be in attendance of a reading of the Megillah. If you go to a synagogue to hear the reading of the Megillah, don't be surprised if, number 3, you find people in costumes. Purim is a time for dressing up in elaborate costumes, a tradition that dates back centuries. But this is not the Jewish Halloween, as some suggest. The custom of masquerading represents the idea of concealing one's true identity, echoing Esther's concealment of her Jewish heritage. 4, Mishloach Manot is the tradition involving the exchange of food and gifts among friends and family. Giving gifts forges camaraderie and unity within the community, emphasizing the importance of sharing blessings with others. 5, food and merrymaking. One favorite food eaten during Purim is hamantaschen, triangular little pastries filled with different fillings like poppy seeds or different types of fruit. But interestingly, Purim falls adjacent to Yom Kippur, which has led to creative explanations as to the connections and the distinctions between Yom Kippur and Purim. Two holidays which may seem to be polar opposites actually have some very deep connections. And 6, tzedakah, or charity. Giving to those in need is integral to Purim. We're encouraged to assist the less fortunate, embodying the spirit of compassion and social responsibility, helping those who need our help. Beyond the festivity, Purim carries profound spiritual significance and insights. It serves as a reminder of God's providence and protection, even in the face of adversity. Esther's courage and faith exemplify the power of righteous action and the belief in the ultimate triumph of justice, and God's help, even when he seems to be nowhere in sight. If you visit the Hidden Orchard, you'll find an article where we have unpacked the places where the name of God is actually hidden, encoded in the Hebrew text. And you may hear people say God is not mentioned in the Book of Esther, and while that's true in one sense, his name is indeed written into the text. So check the show notes below for a link to that. At Purim, it's a time to rejoice in the triumph of light over darkness, strengthen the bonds of friendship and community, reaffirm our commitment to justice and compassion, and to generally enjoy life. Purim serves as a yearly reminder from the Creator that things are not always as they appear on the outside. Reversals and redemption can happen momentarily, even when everything seems hopelessly headed in the wrong direction. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this topic. Remember, you can find more information at thehiddenorchard.com. If you liked what you heard, please leave a review and share this podcast with your friends. We don't really engage in marketing, so it's word of mouth and references like that really help spread the word. Also, I want to say thank you to those who subscribe to the site and those who support the Hidden Orchard Project financially. Without you, it wouldn't be possible, so thank you. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.